He's going to plead not guilty, obviously. He's going to fight this with all of his energy and all of his might and the full confidence of his lawyers. And I expect a long battle with a good result for Mr. Combs.
He obviously thinks that the defendant is going to flee, in this case Combs, or whether or not Combs is a danger to the community.
Right.
Is the prosecutor hinting at how Diddy might walk away scot-free after tricking the judge?
And there's been I was there in court on Friday, and they've been saying, the prosecutors say, look, he's been doing these three-way calls. He's communicating with people, witnesses, people that he's trying to influence. He's calling somebody, they're calling somebody. It's against the rules. He's borrowing other people's phone cards, all of that. That is a big no-no, right?
Well, yes and no, in that if the goal is to obstruct justice, then yes, that's a big no-no.
The defense is throwing everything at the wall to argue that Diddy's rights were violated during a controversial raid. They're claiming the search violated the 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments, arguing it was unconstitutional and calling the seizure of his notes an institutional failure. They even allege that the raid was a pretext, just an excuse to target Diddy specifically, not part of some broader contraband crackdown. To back up their claims, the defense is demanding surveillance footage, suggesting the whole thing was more about cornering Diddy than maintaining security. Their goal? Paint the prosecution as reckless and show the search was unlawful, which could make those seized notes inadmissible in court. If that happens, it could weaken the government's claims of obstruction and witness tampering, giving Diddy a better shot at bail, or even getting some charges dropped. But here's the catch. The prosecution isn't backing down. They argue the search was perfectly legal and part of a planned sweep by the Bureau of Prisons, not a personal attack on Diddy. Prosecutor Slavic insists her team had no involvement in the raid, brushing off the defense's allegations of misconduct. If the court sides with the prosecution and finds the notes legitimate, Diddy could face serious trouble. However, if the defense can convince the judge that these notes were wrongfully obtained, the prosecution's case might take a major hit. Prosecutor Slavic didn't hold back, firing shots at the defense's claims of attorney-client privilege. She argued that Diddy's notes weren't exactly legal advice material. They included to-do lists and plans for things like paying off a witness and digging up dirt on victims. According to her, these notes scream obstruction of justice, not privileged communication. According to court documents, Diddy allegedly had his children post a birthday video on social media, a move prosecutors say was a calculated attempt to sway public opinion. But that's not all. They also claim he made several calls to potential witnesses, using other inmates' phone accounts to stay under the radar. These actions, paired with the notes found in his cell, paint a picture of someone willing to go to extreme lengths to tilt the scales of justice in his favor. The prosecution isn't backing down, but Diddy doesn't buy what they're selling. He thinks they're exaggerating or even cheating by using the notes against him. And it's not the first time these kinds of tactics have been seen in high-stakes cases. Diddy's defense team argues that what's being presented is common practice. Despite the heavy accusations, Diddy's defense team has been able to keep the focus on what they view as flaws in the prosecution's case. Diddy's lawyer has repeatedly claimed that the government has overstepped, accusing them of misconduct and violations of his client's rights. Now, with the judge looking closely at the legality of the cell raid, the defense is hoping to flip the script. Instead of focusing on Diddy's alleged actions, they want to shift the narrative toward the prosecution's handling of the case. This has sparked a lot of conspiracy theories and rumors, with many news outlets speculating that Diddy might get out on bail this Thanksgiving. But now, it's official. Diddy's bail has been denied again, marking the third strike in a row. Let's cut to the chase. All those whispers about him being back home just in time for a cozy Thanksgiving dinner? Dead wrong. Hours after the rumor mill started spinning, the judge slammed the gavel and made it loud and clear. Diddy's not leaving that cell for any turkey or stuffing.
Sean Diddy Combs will officially not be home for the holidays after a judge just denied him bail now for the third time. Diddy's been behind bars since September and will likely now remain there until his trial date, which is in May of 2025.
While it's undeniably a relief to many that Diddy isn't getting out on bail, there's still a looming concern among some: his power and influence. Let's face it, this is a man with deep pockets and connections, and that alone makes people nervous. Some argue that if he does manage to secure his release, the odds of justice being fully served could take a serious hit. Why? Well, for starters, the chatter around Diddy's alleged involvement in some shady dealings has been endless. Whispers about manipulation, cover-ups, and possibly even witness tampering have fueled skepticism about whether the system can hold him accountable. These concerns aren't coming out of thin air. His influence is undeniable, and history has shown that powerful figures often find ways to sidestep consequences. If he were to walk free, it wouldn't just be about him enjoying fresh air, it could create opportunities for interference, intentional or otherwise. And let's not forget, high-profile cases like this aren't just legal battles. They're also tests of the public's trust in the justice system. For many, the thought of Diddy out on bail feels less like a second chance for him and more like a potential roadblock to justice. The real victims here are the individuals who've come forward with their stories. And now, things are escalating. 5 new lawsuits have been filed against Diddy, with both male and female accusers claiming they were intoxicated and essayed by the embattled music mogul. This brings the total number of civil complaints against him to over 30. The new lawsuits cover incidents spanning from 2001 to 2022, with alleged mistreatments taking place in cities like New York, Miami, and the Hamptons. Most of the claims point to parties hosted by Combs, with one lawsuit mentioning an incident at his famous white party in 2004. Even more disturbing, one accuser describes how he was allegedly mistreated by Diddy and his associates during a casting call for a music video, turning what should have been an opportunity into a nightmare. The accusers, who are filing anonymously under Jane Doe and John Doe, are coming forward with haunting stories. 2 women claim they were just 17 and 18 years old when they were allegedly intoxicated unwillingly and essayed by Combs. Meanwhile, 3 male accusers share shocking accounts of being unwillingly intoxicated too and sodomized by the mogul.
Sean Diddy Combs is facing lawsuits now from 120 new accusers. 25 of them were children at the time of the alleged attacks. The youngest victim was 9 years old.
That's right, Diddy has been accused by 120 individuals, but only 30 have actually filed lawsuits so far. According to attorney Tony Busby, this is just the tip of the iceberg, and we're likely to witness hundreds more lawsuits in the near future. It's hard to imagine the full scale of this legal storm when more accusers step forward, especially as the media attention around his case continues to grow. But here's the truly chilling part. There are still victims who haven't filed lawsuits because, tragically, Diddy may have already silenced them. One of the most heartbreaking examples is his late ex-wife, Kim Porter. It's alleged that Porter had plans to pursue legal action, but unfortunately, she passed away before she could do so. In case you didn't know, Kim Porter was the mother of Diddy's children, and they had been together on and off for years. Their relationship was deep, though complicated, and they spent a significant part of their lives together. However, things took a tragic turn in 2018 when Kim was found unresponsive in her bathtub, and the official cause of death was ruled as pneumonia. But here's where things get even more unsettling. Almost immediately after her death, questions began to arise. The initial coroner's report hinted at foul play, mentioning toxins in her body that could have mimicked pneumonia symptoms. Rumors started swirling, including allegations of blood found on her pillow and a mysterious trail leading from her bedroom to the bathroom, painting a much darker picture of what might have happened. To make matters worse, the timeline of events was suspicious. Kim reportedly made a 911 call at 2:43 a.m., but help didn't arrive until hours later, when Kamora Lee Simmons found her around 11 a.m. This long gap between the call and the arrival of help only deepened the mystery. Kim's family, understandably, has had serious doubts about the circumstances surrounding her death. There are reports suggesting that they've spoken with the FBI about potentially pursuing a wrongful death lawsuit against Diddy. The family has reportedly been urged to stay silent by investigators to avoid compromising any ongoing investigation. And if you're still questioning how this death ties to Diddy, well, things get even more mysterious. There are claims that Diddy might have had access to substances that could mimic pneumonia or heart attack symptoms. And recently, Jaguar Wright, a whistleblower with connections to the music industry, has come forward with explosive claims that seem to back this up.
Been poisoned, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was going to meet up with him because we were in Vegas, and then the next thing you know...
It's no stretch to consider these allegations, especially when you take into account that Kim Porter was reportedly working on a tell-all book about her tumultuous relationship with Diddy before her tragic death. The unpublished manuscript, which has yet to see the light of day, allegedly revealed some deeply disturbing instances of both emotional, and physical mistreatment at the hands of Diddy. One particularly shocking claim from the manuscript involves Diddy allegedly attacking Kim with a chair, which led to her having to visit the hospital. But the mistreatment didn't stop there. Kim supposedly described how Diddy went to great lengths to control her every move. Reports claim he wired her home, tapped her phone, and even hired people to spy on her. Things took a darker turn when Diddy sought full custody of their children. Feeling backed into a corner, Kim supposedly threatened to expose everything, especially Diddy's deepest, darkest secrets, which allegedly included the serious questionable freak-offs. This wasn't just some petty argument. It was a desperate plea to show the world what she had endured behind closed doors. The manuscript didn't hold back, dropping bombshell after bombshell about Diddy's manipulative behavior. Kim claimed Diddy forced her into degrading situations, using control and intimidation to the point of emotional devastation. We saw a glimpse of this when Cassie, Diddy's former partner, filed her own lawsuit, revealing years of mistreatment during their 11-year relationship. It's not hard to imagine that Kim, too, was among the first to experience these controlling tactics. But the creepiest, most chilling claim of all, Kim allegedly suggested that Diddy may have been involved in the tragic deaths of Tupac Shakur and the notorious B.I.G. She hinted at the idea that Diddy might have orchestrated these events to maintain control over their legacies. If you've been following the cases of Tupac and Biggie, you know that Diddy's name is deeply entwined in the dark web of their deaths. According to Keefe D, who has now confessed to his involvement in Tupac's murder, Diddy ordered the hit on Tupac.
Diddy is part of it. Diddy paid $1 million. I think it just makes for a good story.
New court discoveries in the Tupac Shakur murder case. New court documents show that Dwayne Keefe D. Davis accused hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs of paying $1 million for the killing of the rap icon Tupac Shakur.
Yes, the very man who built an empire on hip-hop was allegedly the mastermind behind one of the most infamous murders in music history. Keefe D. didn't mince words, directly implicating Diddy in the murder, making these claims even harder to ignore. But it doesn't stop there. Biggie, who tragically died just a year after Tupac, also has connections to Diddy's alleged hand in his death. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, revealed shocking details that tied Diddy directly to Biggie's financial and contractual dealings. According to Deal, he had a rare chance to glimpse at Biggie's contract while holding Diddy's briefcase on a flight. And what he saw was chilling. Biggie was getting paid $250,000 per installment, while Diddy kept full control of the publishing rights, a detail that points to how much power Diddy held over his artists.
I said, yo, Big, somebody gonna try to come kill us tonight. And Lil C's, who I hadn't seen all week, Lil C says, Gene, go ahead on with that cop shit. I said, I know one thing, you better get you a GED. You know what that is? A good enough degree, so they don't cheat you out your money like they doing your man right here. And I was talking to about Big, because I had read his whole contract on the plane, because Puff had gave me the briefcase. When he gave me the briefcase, you know, like, he just do some bullshit, hand me the briefcase, and went to first class, and I went to coach in the emergency exit. And I just opened it up, start reading the shit.
But here's the jaw-dropper. Gene Deal also claimed that Biggie was on the verge of signing a deal worth over $60 million right before his untimely death. This only fuels the theory that Diddy, seeing Biggie's success and the potential threat to his own empire, might have orchestrated a hit on Biggie just like he did with Tupac. If Kim, Tupac, and Biggie were still alive today, they'd likely be celebrating Diddy's arrest, especially now that he's been denied bail not once but 3 times. The fact that he's been kept behind bars speaks volumes, not just about the severity of the charges, but also about the mounting weight of accusations that have surrounded him for years. But if you think that's the end of Diddy's alleged involvement in these deaths and scandals, think again, because the web seems to go deeper. Some of the people who dared to speak out against him or did something he didn't approve of have faced some truly harrowing consequences. A prime example of this is Kim Porter's ex, Al B. Sure. Al B. Sure's story is chilling. He reportedly landed in a coma for 2 months under suspicious circumstances. While he hasn't come out and publicly disclosed the full details of what happened, rumors are circulating that he was working on a tell-all book, one that likely tied Diddy to the very freak-off lifestyle we're only now starting to understand. Just as mentioned, Al B. Sure's near-death experience has an eerie resemblance to another tragic situation in the music world, the case of Andre Harrell. Andre, a respected music mogul, was reportedly working on a manuscript that would have exposed some of the industry's darkest secrets. According to sources, the manuscript was set to reveal how powerful figures, including Diddy, allegedly used substances and manipulation to control others and silence those who posed a threat to their empire. But here's the most chilling part. Andre was also preparing to expose how Diddy, with the help of Clive Davis, orchestrated his fall from power in the music industry. Andre's manuscript could have shaken the very foundation of the business, but before it could come to light, tragedy struck. Andre Harrell was found dead under mysterious circumstances, and the cause of death was officially reported as a heart attack.
And we learned of another death in the world of music today. The founder of Uptown Records passed. Andre Harrell died late Thursday at his home in California. Harrell gave rapper Sean Puff Daddy Combs his first big break.
Now this is where it gets even more unsettling. A heart attack, while it may seem like a natural cause of death, could be easily triggered by substances that Diddy reportedly had access to. Substances that can manipulate the body's systems, push someone to their limits, and potentially cause fatal outcomes. And let's not forget about Jamie Foxx. His name has recently surfaced in this grim web of connections tied to Diddy, a man he once considered a close friend. So close that in fact Jamie allegedly recorded some of the infamous freak show activities Diddy was involved in.
Yo, Puff, you gotta let me film this, the whole thing. We need to document this, Playboy. He was like, let him through. And I'm like, all right, I'm through.
But things took a dark turn when Jamie experienced a mysterious health scare last year, slipping into a coma after reportedly sharing disturbing details about his experiences with Diddy. The plot thickened last month when Choke No Joke, a well-known figure in the industry, dropped a bombshell during an interview with Comedy Hype. He recounted attending 2 of Jamie Foxx's shows in Atlanta, where Jamie allegedly confessed, saying, "Diddy was responsible for what happened to me."
Jamie Foxx states in the special that Diddy was responsible for what happened to him, and he is the one that called the FBI on him.
But that wasn't all. Big Homie CC, a celebrity security guard, echoed these shocking statements, claiming that Jamie directly accused Diddy of poisoning him. According to Big Homie, Jamie even reported these suspicions to the FBI, fueling even more questions about Diddy's role in these mysterious events.
What are some of the things that you heard behind the scenes that were going on before this indictment actually dropped?
Well, I know he poisoned Jamie Foxx, and Jamie Foxx reported him to the FBI because of it. I know that's a fact.
We're talking about what was it, a year or 2 ago or so, when Jamie Foxx got real sick and everybody said he had a stroke?
Yes.
We're talking about that, or talking about something different?
I'm talking about that.
Interestingly, the list of celebrities who have mysteriously died or experienced near-death situations due to drowning, pneumonia, or heart attacks, often reportedly linked to overdoses or foul play, is longer than you might think. Some of the most high-profile cases include Whitney Houston and her daughter, Bobby Christina, both of whom died under troubling circumstances, with Whitney's drowning in a hotel bathtub and Bobby Christina's own tragic passing just years later. Then there's Matthew Perry, whose sudden death in a hot tub raised questions about substance use. Steven Twitch Boss's untimely death in a hotel also raised many eyebrows, leaving fans wondering if there was more to the story. And Aaron Carter, whose drowning death in a bathtub also added to this eerie pattern, only deepens the mystery surrounding such incidents in the entertainment industry. So him having a chance to get out of jail is not something you should take lightly. If he does manage to get out on bail, we might just see more celebrities mysteriously dying, especially those who dared to speak out against him amid his legal battle. And don't forget about the leaked audio call where Diddy instructed his son to get rid of pizza boxes.
Do not entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes left over from the pizza. All the boxes. Okay. Make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about.
Sounds innocent, right? But that's not just a casual request. It's him basically telling his son to cover up evidence. If he gets out, who knows what he'll do next? And let's talk about the bigger picture, the eerie pattern of people connected to Diddy ending up dead under suspicious circumstances. Whether it's drowning, heart attacks, or even unexplained illnesses like pneumonia, those who have crossed him or gotten too close to exposing his secrets seem to meet untimely ends. It's no wonder people are raising their eyebrows. Now, with all these lawsuits piling up and more shocking details emerging, it's hard to ignore the possibility that Diddy could be responsible for more than just the freak-offs, as we all now know. The question is, will he ever face true justice, or will he walk away free yet again? Do you think he has a real chance to get out of jail, or is this the end of his reign? Drop your comments below. While we wait for more updates, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos to stay in the loop. The story's far from over, and we'll be here to keep you posted on every new twist.